Hello, everybody. I am Yolanda Marie. The Arcturians are saying basically there is no need to re-experience lower frequency cycles, okay, which have been already experienced in previous lives. They're saying there's no need to re-experience this, all right, because they're saying the elements, and I'm going to quote a little bit from their channel here, all right, from their message. They're saying the elements of these things that have occurred during what are actually concurrently running lives, right? They linger in part because you don't realize that you are allowed to let them go. You are allowed to let this stuff go. And they're speaking about primarily within the subconscious. Okay, you can think of it that way if we're using scientific terminology. If we're using quantum terminology, you can think of what's living in your field, what exists in your field, what elements that we relate to emotions, all right, because emotions are energy. What of that is running around in your field still from, and as the Arcturians put it, concurrently running lives, really, because there is no space or time, but they're really previous lives. Here's the catcher here. Once you let this stuff go, it's healed in that previous life, all right? It's healed from you and it's healed in that life at the same time. And so if you're thinking of it in a linear timeline or moving through time sort of way, if you think of it that way, you can let it go because the trauma of that will fall away and it won't keep catching up to you. And the karma is also released as well. And they get to that as well, okay? They're saying you're also believing basically that there is that karma, but it's because there's still this sort of limbo happening now in terms of belief. All right, many of you are realizing that you are bringing in the current now in terms of the higher structure, the higher frequencies. Okay, but there is a glitch in the belief system in a way. There is a little hitch, a little hiccup happening in which you are not quite sure you are relieved of your responsibility of the prior existence. But you are in the current existence now in order to bring back the structure of higher existence and higher frequency to your planet. And therefore, you must release the prior energy. There is a reset happening of sorts, a reset, so to speak. All right. And so basically, and I'm going to refer to the notes here again, they're saying you can consider this karmically fulfilled, all right, once you realize the nature of your impermanent existence in the current now. All right, so it's impermanent in the current now, but it's permanent in terms of the infinite nature of your energy and your energetic frame and the nature of your connection to source. So what the Arcturians are saying is once you realize all of this, you'll realize your power to release those things once you fully step into that. And then they go on to say, and so once you realize that it is to your benefit to let these things go, as what you have called karma and balancing are no longer deemed necessary, you can expand yourself. You can, and they put it like this, they say you can expunge your record. They put it a few different ways, okay? They say you can release false guilt because these things have been fulfilled. And they go on to point out that all of this was for the experiencing of the eternal source of consciousness, who wishes to experience itself in every conceivable way. And so within the universal consciousness are the offshoots of consciousness, right? And that's where the relative consciousnesses is how the Arcturians put it. This relative consciousness And all of these relative consciousnesses are then able to make decisions about how they experience. And so now they're getting into who you really are and the power you really have. So I'm going to read that again. Okay, just this one little part here. They say, and yet within the universal consciousness are the offshoots of consciousness. All right, and they call them relative consciousnesses, which are then able to make decisions about how they experience. So this is what we are missing, what many of us are missing, that we're able to have this power to make a decision to release, fully release what we believe is this karmic rebalancing. Okay, because within the experiencing that you are attributing to the planet in terms of energetic experiencing, we are the Arcturians. You are, by nature of this, clearing and cleansing the karma of the previous experiences, which your energetic body and the compilation thereof, the many essences thereof, have taken on. You do have the power to release these things in your awareness of this, in your awareness of power and connection to source. In other words, the act of coming in and correcting, the intention to correct the imbalance in the energy and the awareness of the attempt and eventual succeeding in the clearing of the energy is indeed in itself the balancing of the karma which you believe you still owe. We are the Arcturians. We love you. End transmission. Okay. So this is what the Arcturians are saying, okay? So take a moment and breathe that in, into your consciousness, into your field. You can visualize that energetic information integrating with your field so that your body knows to release or understands that it has your permission to release this, okay? All right. All right, so... and if you believe that you have or know that you don't really have this sort of work left to do, you don't feel that weight on you in such a way, you can also receive this knowledge and this intention on behalf of the planet, on behalf of the energies around you. Okay? Insofar as it does not, there's no intention to disrupt someone else's plan, right? Or usurp their own sovereignty. All right. And so basically, they're saying through the nature of this awareness, you can agree with yourself that you are free. And this is another way that your cells can agree with your awareness and your consciousness, okay? Your conscious living mind is how they put it. And this conscious living mind seeks to experience moment to moment in the current now. And so they're saying by degree of doing this, this once again writes into the grid of consciousness the future concepts of true freedom, true freedom. And so therefore you are able to elevate. And then they say by you, we mean the collective of humanity is able to elevate and bloom in consciousness. And then they say this is a beautiful event. And they're telling us basically practice letting this go. Know that you do not need to relive each of these things, these past life traumas and events. You can choose, which is the point of this. You really can choose. You can choose to stay in it actually as well. But the Arcturians are saying, if you have tuned into this particular frequency, among all the frequencies that you could have chosen to tune into, you are likely much more ready than you may even realize to make these, what you previously have deemed grandiose decisions on behalf of your own etheric environment. It is indeed your own. You are indeed sovereign. You are indeed powerful, and you can make choices in your own experience, as in your awareness, your intent is to redeem the planet, the energy, restructure and rebalance the things that have come out of balance. Okay, and so they're reiterating that just again. And they do go on to say that the majority of you listening to this have chosen that you will not re-experience those such lives. All right, so that is the basis of this message, but the entire message is going to be down below. And the beautiful way that the Arcturians like to come in and state things and explain them is very energetically activating. So you may enjoy reading this, okay? All right, I hope all of you are doing well. All right, we're getting hit with a lot of brilliant, beautiful, powerful, jarring at times energy, okay? And so, yeah, just pay attention to self-care. Pay attention to the way that you think about yourself and your situations, and get lots of rest. Just love yourself. Just love yourself. Just be. All right. Love you so much, beautiful souls. And I will talk to you again very, very soon. Namaste.